Hello and welcome to another game in the Coca-Cola 10-pin Classic, coming to you from the Richlands Bowl in Brisbane. The format for this year's tournament is the Baker system, which involves 6 teams from New Zealand, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, Western Australia and Queensland. Each team will play each other once to determine the top 4 seedings. There are 3 players per team who will bowl alternate frames in a 10-frame game, with the winner of each game receiving a bonus of 20 pins. Total pin tally will determine the top 4 teams to play off for the final. The total prize money for the tournament is $50,000, with the winning team sharing $15,000 plus accommodation and entry into the $1 million high roller tournament in Las Vegas. Our game today is between 2 teams who had to travel plenty of kilometres to compete in the tournament, New Zealand and Western Australia. And this is how the teams line up. For New Zealand, 17-year-old Paul Fincham, current average 196, 36-year-old Diane Wichello, current average 185, and 23-year-old Murray Johnston, current average of 190. For Western Australia, 46-year-old Tom Curry, current average 208, 26-year-old Steve Wimbridge, current average 198, and 24-year-old Carol Gianotti, current average 209. Joining me in commentary is Terry Wenban and Sue Castle. Western Australia versus New Zealand. First up is 17-year-old Paul Fincham from Wellington. Only been bowling 2.5 years.
And his first appearance on TV and internationally at that, I'd say that was a very nervous shot. It looked like he just wanted to get rid of that one, but they've got a good opportunity. The replay there, the ball just running right across the head.
He's going to represent his country in the World Cup in France.
Not a good start, but, well, certainly when he goes to France, he'll be joining Australia's Michael Muir and Eddie Jacobs over there, so that'll certainly sort him out.
Tom Curry.
Well, we've said it before, Tom Elite Nails, he'll just do anything to win. Such determination.
Oh, yes. Well, as if he knew the last pin was going to fall, he refused to turn his back until it fell over.
This is what I mean with Tom. He's just an awesome competitor.
He told it. He said, fall down.
He was waiting for the pin to spin around. Yeah, oh, he liked that one, Sue.
Look at the expression on that face.
Diane Wichello.
Again, the New Zealanders are, you know, they're probably a little bit behind in technology. They haven't been bowling as long as Australia has, but this year, they invite a few Australians over every year and to a Winfield Classic, and this year in New Zealand, Nick Tomato won the men's event for the first time, so they're really starting to come of age, and they're doing quite well. I think one of their New Zealand people went about 18th in last year's World Cup, so they're getting a lot better. A tentative start from the New Zealanders. They've really got to sort of go after it. They've got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah, yeah.
Steve Wimbridge.
Well, he's a fiery fella.
You call him Wimpy. Has he had a couple of burgers or what?
He actually works in a snack bar at Craigie, I believe.
Come on, baby. All right.
He almost talked it in.
Well, a few years ago when he was first on the show, I think about 1987, he almost collected a social bowler down the other end of the centre. He ran that far out of screen riding the ball, so he's a fiery fellow and can really get going. Change balls, going for the single pin.
He's quite happy with that.
Well, it almost fell off the edge. You'll see here in the replay, he sends it out. The ball goes a lot straighter than his first ball goes. Wide, just hangs on. Bit of a nail biter, Sue.
Yes, it certainly was. We've got Murray up here from New Zealand now. Let's hope that he can get them back on track.
Murray Johnston, 23 years of age.
Oh, dear, not a good start.
What do you start thinking, Sue, when you've left that?
Oh, can I repeat it on TV? I don't think I can say what you think.
Well, where do you aim? I mean,
Well, again, this is another almost impossible slip, but again, not impossible. You'd be going for either side. Murray's going for the 6-10 side, and you'd be hoping to push the 6. No, he's not changed. Over. No. Strange way to stand there for that spare, but to shoot on the left-hand side of the lane.
Certainly was. I think he maybe just went for 2, and the 4-7 he thought was going to be easier than the 6-10, but here's Carol Giannotti, our female professional bowler. 3rd on the money list in the United States for 92 so far.
Oh, and carries.
All right. 5s all the way around.
Look at the look on that face.
Well, at this stage, going into the 3rd frame, you've got Western Australia 40 in the 2nd. They've got a 23-pin lead.
Any team bowling a perfect 300 game in the Coca-Cola 10-pin Classic will receive a cheque for $10,000 courtesy of True Value Hardware.
Welcome back with the pressure really on the Kiwis. Paul Fincham.
Well, with 3 open frames to start the match, they've got to start getting it together. They need some strikes. They've certainly got to close the frames.
More confident shot there.
It was. He was a lot more aggressive, and that's what he's got to be. Like Murray tries to hook the ball up a lot. He's got to be more aggressive with the shot. It's a great shot. He gets right through the ball well. Bit unfortunate, didn't carry the 4, but he's got to go back and make spares. Can't leave any more frames open.
Yes. How hard is it in this game, Terry, to come from behind and give away a reasonable start and try and run the opposition down?
Well, what you've really got to do is come out and try and put some pressure on. You've got to get out there and make sure that you make your presence felt and hope that the other team makes a mistake. But it's possible.
Oh, he's got the mix.
All right.
Seems like Tom's got them fired up here today.
Obviously doesn't want to waste any.
Well, he doesn't like hurting the pins too much. He's good, fortunate break there, and that's just the thing that they need. But New Zealand, again, they've closed the frame. They've got to start getting some strikes to try and put some numbers on the board.
Diane's looking a little bit tentative at this point in time.
What's she doing that's not correct, Sue?
I think nerves could be playing a... Just have a look here.
She's not getting the ball out wide enough? Or?
Seems to be coming around it a little bit too much for me. I'd like to see her staying behind the shot more to get the ball down further, down the lane further.
She likes it. Bit of confidence.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
I think the first
The pressure's off.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think you don't want to go out there and make a total mess of it all, but they've got a couple of closed frames now. She'll be happy with that.
All right, let's see if Steve can put 3 on the board now for WA.
Well, all these pins are all important for the seedings. It's total pinfall plus the win. They need some strikes.
He likes it.
Oh, a little bit unfortunate there, not to carry the 7.
Yes, well, the winner of the match will get 20 extra bonus pins, and the top 4 seedings are decided on that. Total pinfall plus their bonus pins. So the wins and the pinfall's important. Victoria's had a 224 game. Plus the 20, so they need a good game. At the moment, they're at a 2-0 pace. Just got to make sure they stay clean, pick up everything.
All right.
Good boy. Murray Johnston. I suppose he sees all these pins going over for WA. You'd be scratching your head saying, you know, something's got to happen for us shortly, surely.
It's definitely confusing and frustrating.
No
And it has. I suppose it becomes a mind game after a while, doesn't it?
It really does. It's a very mental game. When you get out there, you know you can make good shots, but unfortunately, with the pressure and the situation, you start to feel that, well, you're just not throwing the ball that well, and all the doubts come in. You get this enormous fear of failure. But let's see if Carol can get another one.
Good shot.
Well, that's why she's a top bowler. Like, what can you say? She's one of the best women bowlers in the world.
She's had some great wins and mistakes since she's been over there.
Well, she certainly has. Well, at this stage, you've got WA in a commanding lead. They're 48 pins up.
The winning team of the Coca-Cola 10-pin Classic will receive a cheque for $15,000. Plus, each team member receives accommodation and entry into the $1 Million High Roller Tournament, staying at the Gold Coast Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, flying Qantas, courtesy of the Australian 10-pin Bowling Congress.
Welcome back. Well, this is New Zealand's first experience in the competition. Television, cameras, lights, audience. Might be a bit new.
I think it is, and I think it's the reason they're not adapting at the moment. But no, there's another high shot. They've got to attack. Really, Sue, what would you suggest? Like,
Well, I think the first 3 frames was just a case of nerves outweighing ability. But I started to think that they were getting back on the track there, but unfortunately, they've got themselves back in a bit of a hole. Let's see if he can convert this spare. No, needed to go a bit more to the right to try and slide the pin over and collect the 7 at the same time.
Well, here comes the man of the moment, Tom Curry. He's only let 2 go.
He's the man that'll get this team fired up.
Carol's had 2s for 2.
Carol's a little bit more composed than Tom. Tom's got a lot more aggression and shows it.
Let's watch the expression.
Well, he was gritting his teeth over that one. He's not real happy about that 7-pin standing. See from the top view, Tom gets through the ball, runs it out, comes up light. A little bit unlucky. They go back. Shouldn't have any trouble with the spare. Tom's a good sparer.
Walks away, doesn't even look.
Well, Diane here, getting ready to bowl, but Tom there with that shot just walks off. He knows he's got a single pin.
This girl has represented New Zealand every year since 1987. Yep. She likes it. Bit of confidence in the camp.
That'll do them the world of good. Even though it's a lucky break in the Brooklyn, that's still quite good.
Can you explain to our viewers what's a Brooklyn?
Well, for a right-hander, they're aiming for the right-hand side of the head pin to put the ball into the 1-3 pocket. For a left-hander, they're aiming for the 1-2, the left-hand side of the head pin. And when you hit the other side, we call it the Brooklyn. The other side's, again, bowling's a traditionally American game, and it's New York and Brooklyn.
Not coming up on that shot.
No, he just tended to drop that, Sue.
Yeah, it didn't look to me like he was as free with the other shots that he's thrown.
Well, leading by 40 pins, I suppose if now's the time to do it.
But we've got to remember, again, the pinfall's all important for the seedings. When you get down to the top 4 step ladder, if you can end up in number 1 position, the worst you can finish second, and that's good money.
His teammates there, Carol and Tom, looking on.
Yes, nicely cleaned up.
I think Tom was happy with that one. See here the ball, just getting the head pin. He's happy with that one.
Murray Johnston.
Let's see if he can get up and get another strike.
Nice shot.
Yes, sir. Here we come, say the Kiwis.
Gives him a double. see he gets the ball a lot wider. Ball comes back. Good shot. And here's Carroll. She's had 2 strikes for 2 shots. Let's see if she can get another one. Let's see if she can get a string. Great shots. Oh, yes.
Super shot. Super shot.
I'm actually surprised they didn't make her lead bowler, but it's very tough between Tom and Carroll who to pick, isn't it?
He certainly is, definitely, but Carroll's such a good player. Ball here. Okay, bottom of the 9th frame situation. WA's up 57, but New Zealand have got a double up, so they're trying to save face.
The 10-pin classic will be shared accordingly. $4,000 for 6th place, $5,000 for 5th, $6,000 for 4th place, $9,000 for 3rd, $11,000 for 2nd, and $15,000 for the winning team.
Welcome back with Paul Fincham. He's had a high game of 279. He's averaging 196 for a man who's only been bowling 2.5 years.
Oh yeah, it gives New Zealand 3 in a row. This is good. You know, they're not totally out of it by any means. As we've said, with the pinfall and the winds, goes onto a top 4 step ladder. All they've got to do is make the step ladder, then they can come out and find some form, and they can still win the tournament. So they just need to settle down and get some composure and get some confidence under their belt.
I think that's the bottom line, is they need the confidence and just get out there and make the shots. To me, it looks like he's got his confidence back. He just doesn't seem to be playing the right line. It's gone Brooklyn twice.
He doesn't seem to be playing. Everyone else is playing a lot deeper than he is.
Yeah.
See, he's playing wide as second arrow there. Everyone else is playing left as second arrow, or second arrow going away. And he really is just not playing in the right area. Well, that gives him a spare for 168. And, you know, like, really, it started out a disastrous game. It didn't end up that bad.
No, they ended up making a good game of it. It was a good comeback from New Zealand there.
Tom here with WA with a strike in the 9th. If he can strike out, he can shoot 266. No, sorry, 226. Let's see what he can do.
Does he like it? No. Oh, lucky to trip the 10 out there. Come on.
They'll do fine.
Well, I'll give him a spare for spare strike for 206. Good result. See here, the ball comes up, hits light, just takes out that 10 pin, or else he would have been left with a very difficult spare, the 210. 6 pin, just jumps out of the gutter. Just wants to make the spare.
And he cleans up nicely. And it's a big win to WA.
Well, if he gets a strike here, he goes 206 plus his 20 pins for WA for the win. That's a good game and it's a good win.
Yeah, they'd be happy with that game. It was a pretty solid game all round by all players from WA.
So a good learning experience for New Zealand by the same token. And a great win to WA over New Zealand by 35. Well, the Western Australians showing their class there. They were just too strong over New Zealand, although New Zealand get a chance to make amends in the next game when they take on New South Wales. So why don't you join us for that on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Bowling centres.